Hello and welcome back to our channel Visit Viegas. My name is Marina and I have a fun segment for us to go over today. Normally we do a Thrifty Thursday segment, but we're expanding a few different things. So today I'm actually going to share with you my favorite finds. Anything that I was able to find before we started our channel that I haven't gotten to share on here yet. So I'm a little excited to go over some of my favorite things that we have in the house. I also want to share about a fun segment we are doing on our Instagram right now called Max is Out of Office. If you're new here, I do a series on our Instagram and TikTok where I share everything I'm trying to do in the house while my husband is out of town. I think it's very popular now, but I grew up in the 90s with my mom doing that while my dad would be out of town for, he would be gone for a long time. I think it would be like a couple weeks, like he'd go out of the country for work. I grew up with that kind of mindset of getting to see the way that my mom would work on things in the house, and now that I'm married and we have our own place, it's just a really fun segment that we get to do on Visit Viegas. So I named it Max is Out of Office, which is funny because he's on work when he's doing those calls, but at the same time, like, he also is part of Visit Viegas, so it's like he's out of office with us, but he's also out of office from his actual office where he's on set shooting. So he is a full-time videographer. He's extremely talented. I'm very, very proud of him. I know he's gonna accomplish so many great things in his life, and so I just am like his biggest cheerleader. So while he's gone, I work hard to make our house feel more of a home, and we have a lot of really funny and fun segments that have come out of that. I love having a lot of this documented so that I can always look back on it. It really is like a virtual diary of looking at, like, oh my gosh, do you remember when we were at our first house and I did the gallery wall the very first time he was out of town after we moved, and he had no idea I'd work on it. And at the time that wasn't a surprise. I would like send him updates and stuff. It's just fun to leave your mark, and he fully trusts me, which is really exciting. I love that he can leave and not feel anxious about what I'm gonna do, but that he trusts I'm gonna make our home better. And I work really hard to think of the both of us when I'm doing that, and not just like what I want in the house, what would be better for the two of us. So that is happening, and that is why we are a little bit pushed back with our video this week, because I'm knee deep in that project, and so I am trying to get everything done over there. So if you want to go see updates, honestly my Instagram stories are going to be like the quickest updates because I usually block Max so he can't see what I'm working on, and then our stories are a great way for us to just freely talk about those things. And then on TikTok I try to give updates there. They just are a little bit lagged. They're both great spots to check out the projects that we're working on in the house. All right, on to our favorite finds that we have in the house outside of what you've already seen here on our YouTube channel. I could have probably grabbed 100 things in the house as far as like some of my favorite finds, but you guys have seen some of them already since we started this channel. So I worked really hard to see what haven't I shown on our YouTube channel yet that spark a lot of joy for us, that have meaning, that are purposeful. So I do have some fun things to share with you guys today. Okay, so starting off with some candlesticks. I cannot remember where I got these. I know that I bought them secondhand. I'm not exactly sure where, but I love how aged they are. They look, to me, they feel not force aged. It feels just very naturally aged. So I like that. You can see, I guess it would be stain. It has this like dark stain on top, and then it looks like it's just like through some wear and tear of like people holding it and touching it, that it's aged over time. So these two, there's no markings on them. We have absolutely no knowledge other than on the inside I can see that it's made out of wood. And so I love it. To me, it's a little bit of drama for some candlesticks. I really love these, and what I like to pair with them are these electronic candles I got from Round Top, Texas. So if you have seen anything on our Instagram account, we did this big business trip back in March. We did our first Visit Viegas business trip. My mom accompanied us, and the three of us went to Round Top, Texas for their antique fair. I do have a lot of footage and a lot of things I would love to share with you guys about our trip to Round Top. And tickets did go on sale this week, so I'm hoping in the next week or two to be able to share some of the footage, some of our thoughts, our tips, what we would do again, what we would do differently. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section so that way I can gather them. I already have a couple from Instagram, so if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to chat about it, hopefully next week, and get a chance to just share about that experience because it was really fun and I would totally do it again, but there are definitely things I would do differently. If you have questions, please let me know. These candlesticks, pros and cons. I love that they're electronic, so it's literally just a battery and you twist it in and it has this really soft glow to it. I love that it looks, honestly, like the first thing I thought of was like Pirates of the Caribbean. It just felt so aged and not shiny brand new. And obviously we like secondhand things. I will say you can see here that some of the wax has fallen off. So I have had to be careful, like when I choose to put them in certain candlesticks, that they're not too tight. So that way they see, but it like sinks right in. So I usually keep these two in this pair just because I think they glow really well. And I think it matches the candlesticks. So I do have a alternative of these linked. I will say that the wood ones seem to hold them better. I think I had them in some silver ones and they started to melt. So the battery inside combination, that was just a little bit sketchy, but the wood ones seem to be able to hold that kind of electronic charge fine, and I haven't had any problems with them. What I love is that they have timers inside of them. So I just turned them on just now. I reset the timer by twisting it off and turning it back on. If I were to leave it, I have them set up to go on around 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and then it just gives us a nice little warm light throughout the night without me having to touch them. And then they turn off for like, I think they're off for 18 hours, on for the rest. So for me, I love these. I use them a lot. Great accent for our house. I'm not sure, but I think I also got these books from Round Top. So these are just nice little set of aged books. I liked the colors because they complemented each other, and I got them together. And so I like pairing it even like with these candlesticks like this. This little guy is very little, but I got this back when we lived in Arizona, and it just brings me some joy. It is this little brass ducky, and it's probably a paperweight or something, but I find it adorable, and I like to leave him around the house a lot. He sits on books and things like that. This is one of my favorite frame prints that I've been able to find, and it really sparked a love for them for me. So what I love about this one is that it has felt, this like really pretty green felt around the edges, and I love the print that's inside of it. They just complement each other very well, and I did get this thrifting. I believe I thrifted this one in Arizona. Super love it. It's just everything I hope for in a thrift print, really. I'm serious. And it's the first one, I mentioned this I think a week or two ago, that I had thrifted one with like a felt frame on the inlay like that, and that it kind of sparked a love for them for me. It was this one that I was talking about. So this one is like a little staple. I keep it in my kitchen, and that's one of my favorite finds. This is so cool to me that I wish I would have bought more of these pieces of pottery. It is a vintage bean pot. That's the way it's labeled. I would have not thought of calling it that, but it is perfect. I absolutely love this piece right here. I believe it's handmade. From my knowledge, I don't believe it's from the US. Very heavy, very substantial. I could have easily spent a lot of money collecting a couple of different versions of this, and I kind of wish I would have, because wow, that would have been so cool. However, I do have an exact link for one that you can get on your own. Each of them come a little bit varied because they're likely handmade. If you were to order one from the link that I have, it's gonna look a little different than mine, and that's the beauty of not having a large manufactured piece. The one that you get is uniquely your own. Toss some like dried florals in them because I think it just looks very timeless and pretty. I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to show this to you, but I have this marble table, and it's kind of heavy because it's marble. I got this at a Goodwill. As soon as I saw it, I said, I'm getting that. And I even saw people in the store were like, looking at my cart like, where did she get that? And I was dying inside like, I know, I'm so happy. So this piece has regularly given us some problems. The marble piece just does not want to stay on the base, and so we are regularly Gorilla gluing it back together. If it snaps off, it snaps off. It wasn't a crazy expensive piece, and it also brings me a lot of joy, and so I just love having it as this tiny accent table anywhere in the house. I thought this would be also a great time to mention that just because you take time to go to thrift stores and you can hunt and look really hard, you still might not come home with something. This week I went to 4 different places at least, and I came home with 2 options to show you, and they are small. We're gonna save it for next week, possibly the week after if we end up doing another fun episode next week. But not every thrift trip will be a thrift win. Sometimes you just don't find something that is worth bringing home, and that's okay. Those roughly 7-8 pieces I think are a great stopping point for us today. I could go on and on and on about other favorite pieces I have in the house. Some of them are absolutely way too big to be able to bring into this small frame to show you. So maybe one day I can do that. But let me know what your favorite was in the comments. Don't forget to leave a question if you have any questions about the Round Top Antique Fair in Texas. My name is Marina. Thank you guys again for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be ready when the next episode goes live. Bye, everyone.